Christine Eisenberg. So I did the 5K in the second heat. So I haven't touched foot on a track since the first week of March. I haven't been doing too many workouts, and I actually have never done a 5K on the track before. Halfway through, so figured, I don't know if it was Tim, but he seemed to be hurting a little bit, so I figured maybe I should take the lead. And when I take a lead, I tend to take it really heavy. I definitely went out a little hard and opened the gap. That's just something I do out of like anxiousness. When I take the lead, I kind of like go take the lead and try to open up as big as the gap as possible. One thing, my arms, I tend to carry my arms. So if you like ever watch me running hard in a workout or a race, I'll like try to drop my arms and like shake them out, because that's something when I start to tense up and I put my arms up. So I try to make sure that I'm keeping my arms down lower and I'm running a little bit more relaxed, especially if I'm doing the longer distances on the track. But I try not to check in too much. I try to shut off my brain, but there are moments where I feel, okay, if I notice like, oh, I have 8 laps to go, and that's like those moments where I'm like, I don't know if I can keep this pace. That's when I kind of have to recheck myself, kind of rewire that thinking. I do have a lot of my athletes that I coach make fun of me because I tell them my mantra is I'm a machine. So I try to separate my emotional or my psych, kind of like my mindset in a race, from the physical. So when I'm starting to hurt and I'm starting to doubt myself, I try to tell myself like, no, my body can keep going despite the fact that my brain's telling me to slow down. So I try to tell myself I'm a machine, I'm separate from those thoughts that I'm having in my head that's telling me I'm hurting. That's kind of my mantra. It's worked. I've done that since college. So that's definitely like my go-to when it's getting down to like a mile or 800 left in a race. I just start saying in my head, okay, I'm a machine, I can keep going.
Goal was get out there and try to run fast and compete, and that's what we did, and have fun with it. So it was great. I ran the 5K here at the PRTC first track meet, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I saw you led pretty much from the get-go, and when you open up that type of lead, what's going through your mind? Do you prefer to do something like that? Do you prefer to have a race?
No, I like sitting and kicking. No, it's great. Like it's a different challenge having to be up front, and all you gotta do is you gotta learn just don't let off the gas and just keep trying to find that red line, and so it's a fun challenge. But honestly, like I always find that like if I'm listening to splits, I'm usually having a bad race. So like a lot of it is still just like, I mean, when you're by yourself, yeah, you're paying a bit to splits, and kind of registering them. But the big thing is just like, what was the point of today? Get out there and like suffer. So just like, and then see what you can do for 12 and a half laps. So I've run 2:14:44. So that comes out to, I don't know, like 5:07, 5:08 pace, and today was 4:48 pace. So, the more we can lower this time down, the easier, marathon pace will feel. So it's like 15:04. So not quite what the seat time was, but or what I was hoping for. But again, it's a little windy, it's a little rainy, and you take what you can do for the day. So overall, still a good effort, and now we get back to training.
Hi, I'm Maria Sikora. I run with Philadelphia Track Club. I've been here for about a year. I went to Princeton and Villanova. We ran the 1600. I believe 4:54. I was aiming for about 4:50, so it was right around there. I felt good. I thought I finished pretty strong today. We went out a little quick, 32 seconds about through the 200 meters, but I was glad that I hung on and was able to finish stronger. At the start, I went up pretty quick, but then I tried to settle in through 800. Through a lap, I mentally told myself, try to pick it up. This is usually where I tend to slow down. I tried to hold that through, and the last 200, I kicked it in. Stay calm, stay focused. If I'm going for a pace, maybe I'll keep the pace in mind, like 72 seconds or something like that. I was very grateful to be able to compete today. Yeah.
Dylan Garinger. I ran the 1600. I just wanted to race for a win. I am racing a big race next weekend, and I just wanted to compete today. I'm racing a 5K up in Jersey City. It's supposed to be a sub 14 attempt.
Have you ever run sub 14 before?
14:03. I do not. I like to race tactically. I like to be in second or third place till the last possible second until I know I can kick for the line. Well, we came out through 400 in like 63, and I was already uncomfortable, so that made me a little bit nervous. We hit a little bit of a lull in the second lap, went through in like 220, and 210, and I was a little bit more comfortable there, so I figured I might be able to put together a decent last 400, and it really never felt better. I just felt kind of equally bad the whole way. Honestly, the whole time I was like, well, this is only a 1600, so if I'm 800 deep, I'm like, there's only 2 laps to go. And when there's 2 laps to go, I feel like you can get through basically anything. I try not to pay attention to that stuff too much. I sort of just like to let it happen. I even tried today to completely ignore the splits. I wanted to focus entirely on being in the rhythm of the race. I was actually taught as a runner not to have superstitions, because if something gets in the way of those superstitions, it can lead to like sort of getting out of it mentally before the race even starts. So I'm actually pretty big on just keeping it as loose as possible. I mean, I try to stay into a rhythm, but I don't want to put any pressure on one certain thing going my way pre-race.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to offer?
No, this was easier than I thought it would be.
Hi, my name is Max, and I run for PRTC, as everyone in this little special probably does. Oh, well, I mean, my big running mantra is risk it for the biscuit. Definitely went to that today, and I definitely risked it, but did not get the biscuit. So I did the mile, and I did the 4x8 relay. So it went interesting. The mile, I definitely risked it for the biscuit. Went out in either 64 or 65 when I was trying to run 4:30. Was totally toast and dropped out at 1K.
Okay.
Then like 15 minutes later, I came back and ran in the 4x8 relay, where I had I had some more adventurous splits, but I still finished. And I think my relay team was second out of 4 teams, so we'll take that as a silver medal. So.
What was going through your mind in the mile?
I was like, oh wow, I went out too fast in the first 400. This is gonna hurt me, but I feel really good. 600, wow, this is still fast, but I'm running really well. Can I keep doing this? 800 and 212, and I was like, uh-oh, something doesn't feel quite right. And then I was like on the straightaway on the 3rd lap, and I was like, time to cut it. It's not gonna happen. In the 4x8, I was like, all right, let's try to run hard and see what happens. And then I couldn't really run that hard. It wasn't there, but I still slowed down a lot. So I ran hard, and then I ran even less hard. And I actually ran slower in the 800 than I did in the first 800 of the mile I dropped out of. So, you know, it's good to be back, but there was some rust for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna eat something, take a nap, just recollect myself and get hungry for the next PRTC track challenge in October.
Hurry here first.